Welcome back to Dadnarok. This is Shaun,
And this is Chris.
and tonight we're going to talk about, stuff that's been going on with us, as well as the second episode of season 2 of The Last of Us. Who are we?
We're Dadnarok. I think we're Dadnarok. I mean, we've gone through very quite a few variations of Dadnarok.
Yeah,
So hit that like if you're watching us live or if you're watching the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're listening to us, we're going back. I mean, we're posting them again, as a podcast. So if you're listening to them, leave us a nice little review, wherever you're picking it up. You can get it on most platforms now.
hmm
But yeah, so let's just jump into this. You had a little comic expo thing happening this past weekend, didn't you?
I did. I went to the Louisville Con here in Louisville, Kentucky, and it was small.
Was it as small as you expected?
Yes, and it kind of reminded me of like an indoor flea market, but it was like an indoor flea market at Halloween because there were a lot of costumes.
Okay.
A lot of my daughter dressed up as Marty McFly, so all the
Oh,
men
awesome.
above
She went in cosplay.
all the men above 40 were like, "Hey, Marty," and you
Did it
know,
creep her out any, or was she all right?
oh, I was with her the whole time. She knew to expect it. Um, Maybe next time she'll dress in like an anime character or something, so that way the young people can give her high fives instead of all the old men.
All the creepy
Um,
guys giving her side eye.
yeah. So that was fun. I got here. Let me see what I got a Return of the Jedi poster. That
Oh,
was only
that's awesome.
$13. That was pretty cool. I got some Ninja Turtle keychains. Actually, got all
Okay.
4 of them.
Oh, you
It
got picked them
basically,
up.
yeah, you got to get all 4 of them. They had all 4 of them hanging there.
Oh, I know the feeling. I mean, you guys can kind of see the artwork I got behind me. That's the four
Right. I know
turtles
who I'm
next to me
talking
too.
to. Yeah. Yeah, just some little things like that. They had a lot of, people doing crafts, a lot of like knit things and a lot of art things, which was nice. It was nice for folks that do that kind of stuff to have an outlet to, sell it, which, their stuff may not be normally welcome at just a general flea market or what am I trying to think of? Those markets like on weekends, like a fruit market or a farmer's market.
Farmer markets, yeah.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
blanking on them. I wasn't quite sure where you're going with that, but yeah.
So it was nice. And then yesterday we saw Minecraft. You saw
Oh,
Minecraft too, didn't you?
awesome. So real quick though, was it a good entry level for your daughter? Do you think she's got like the want to maybe go to a bigger one, like a
Oh
comic
yeah, she wants to
expo
go.
or
Yeah, I asked her afterwards and she was like, "Yeah, I'll go. I want to go to another." I mean, she had fun. She didn't know any different. So, she had a lot of fun just seeing all there was to see. Um, but that's basically what it was. It was just some booths to shop at.
okay.
And
So
people dressed up in costume, which at least people did dress up.
so you kind of still got that environment, a little of that environment, but you
Mhm.
didn't get the panels and all the
Mm.
celebrities showing up where you're paying 70 to 80
No, actually,
$100 for.
I felt kinda bad because they were, like, 2 or 3 quote, unquote "celebrities," like voice actors and, like, comic artists. I didn't recognize who they were, but, like, I would, like, walk past them, and they seemed, like, very eager to, like, talk to people, but I didn't know who they were. I kinda went right by them, and I felt bad because, like, usually when you those things, like the celebrity booths, like, there's lines, you know
Oh,
what I mean?
dude, yeah. I got things signed by Spock himself for my mother-in-law one year, or my Ready Player One book behind me signed by Will Wheaton. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've got a few things myself but that crap's not cheap. they,
No.
they want so much money to be for those things to be signed. But
No, it's like $400 to get a picture with Mark Hamill.
no,
Yeah, yeah.
he can keep that Polaroid. Don't care that much. Um,
But yeah, it was fun. As far as an entry level thing, yeah, we'll probably be traveling for the next one. We keep an eye out to see what's going on in the tri-state area near
Well,
your
there
neck of the
is the
woods and
one in
stuff.
Cincinnati. I know when we've
Right.
done plenty of times, and that's not a small one, but I don't categorize that as a really big one either.
It's kind of mid-size, yeah.
But yeah, but we've seen oh, MythBuster dude, I'm blanking on his name,
Not
Adam
Jamie, but
Savage.
Adam Savage,
And
yeah.
we see Adam Savage, and that was one of the few celebrities that I've met that I completely clammed up. Froze. If it wasn't for you, I would have gotten nothing out. My picture with him is goofy as hell looking on my phone.
Yeah. You
Uh,
did good.
Yeah, but yeah, then actually sitting in this panel, so that was really fun. So yeah, it's really the next
Uh,
up.
and Zach got to sit in a DeLorean too.
Yeah,
That that picture.
I remember that. Or we climbed up the wall, with the rope and everything, the picture sideways, so it makes it look like you're climbing like Spider-Man style or something.
Yeah, that's cool. See, that's the kind of stuff that I was hoping would be there, but it was really just like a bunch of tables set up to sell homemade stuff. Even just to buy stuff, like I love booths that have like retro toys,
Yeah.
like, He-Man action figures, booths that have like
Oh, they didn't
movie
have any of
posters
that?
galore. They didn't have anything like that. It was all like homemade stuff, like which is, okay, I'm not gonna like poo-poo on people like sharing their passion and wanting to sell it. Like
Yeah.
that's totally fine. But I do like the option to, like, visit booths that have, like, retro games and,
Oh,
all
I thought
kinds of
maybe
stuff like
some
that.
like local stores that do the retro stuff would get a booth or two in there.
I would think so too, but there was nothing like that, which is a shame, but, I don't think they've been doing this for very long. It's still fairly new, so we'll see. We'll see how it
Okay.
grows.
Let me grow. You mentioned Minecraft.
Yeah.
I seen it a little while ago. What you said you just seen it with your daughter. What'd you guys think?
We loved it. We had a great time. Luckily, we didn't get any popcorn or soda thrown at us during parts of the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah,
Like,
neither do we. How was your
um,
theater? Was it pretty sold out or was it
it
pretty
was
empty
yeah.
or
No, I mean, there were some seats left, but it was probably 75% capacity, yeah.
wow, still week 3. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Uh did you guys get any like quoting the screen for the kids in the theater?
Verona knew what was coming, like the chicken rider and I Am
Chicken
Steve and
jockey, yeah.
stuff. Yeah, yeah. She knew exactly what was coming, and she knew all the ins and outs of the game, so every now and then she would turn to me and, like, want to explain something, like, "Papa, this is when this thing." I'd be like, "Oh, cool."
Well, I knew nothing about the kid or the player that played it and wound up dying was one of the best, stream
Yeah.
the pig with the
The pig
crown
with the
on him.
crown? Yeah.
Yeah. I come to find out that was one of the actors that were I think the younger boy that was, like, insisted that they put that in the movie in some manner.
Oh, no
That
kidding,
was his
okay.
call because of yeah, I think the people that made the movie really didn't know.
Can I tell you this is actually probably my favorite performance of Jason Momoa. I think his character of the garbage man in this movie, he was so cool. Just right up my alley. Just he was cool. He was like a Star Lord cool. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just trying his damnedest to be cool, but he's all kind of like a scumbag with a heart of gold. I don't know. Like I just love, and he did it so well. Like he was into it.
Yeah, there wasn't much about that movie I didn't like. I have like you, I've got no connection to the movie at all. But both my kids, Zach and Skylar, both love it. And we're
Yeah.
sitting in there, and I when we went and seen it, because I always have a habit of pulling up like how many seats are left before the movie comes on. There
Yeah.
was like 5 seats left in my theater, so
Oh wow.
we were packed. And like my name is Steve. The whole crowd like yelled it along with almost over the movie. The chicken jockey, uh, oh, what there was like 5 different, scenes where they
Yeah.
were, like, loud over it, and for me having no connection to the movie at all or the game,
Right.
that made the movie for me, which made it
Mm-hmm.
more fun for me, and I had a blast. Now, I will say I don't know if it's something I will revisit because I don't know if I'll have that much fun watching it a second time knowing it's coming and the environment not being there.
Oh yeah, but I think kids will want to watch
Oh,
this
yeah, Zach and
again
Skylar,
and again.
I mean, if we could be back there tonight watching it, they would be back there tonight watching it.
Yeah, I think this is gonna have a lot of success on streaming and video purchases or whatever. Like, I think it's gonna do well, and I think it won't be long before we hear an announcement for Minecraft 2.
Oh, it's only time because the way they ended it, because
Yeah.
they came back, but yet they know where the portal is. They know it's in the cave. So there's nothing stopping them from going back
Yeah, and
to the Overlord.
apparently the Netherworld has this big dragon too that didn't even make an appearance in this, movie. So, that's one thing that my daughter and I did that's one thing I did know about because she beat the game one time where I guess it's just some story mode, simple story mode in the version she was playing when she did play it. There was a, nether dragon that you defeat at the very end, and
Has
that
she
wasn't
started playing
they
it
were
again?
around. Not yet, but we only saw it yesterday, so
Okay. Zach picked it right. I mean, literally, Zach and Skylar were talking on the way home about playing split screen
yeah.
on the Xbox. And they were
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
figure out how to get it on the Switch, but it's his account set up to my account on the Switch. And I'm like, I don't know. I just don't want to worry about it. You guys just play split screen. I don't care. But yeah, it's actually had a resurgence in my household
Oh, sure.
because of that. He actually went ahead and downloaded it on his phone
Mm.
because, I mean, we went to Cleveland this past weekend.
Yeah, you did.
So he wanted to go ahead and be able to play it on his phone on the way there. So he's got his backbone connection to his phone. He's actually playing it with like a controller and everything, and he's having a blast. But yeah, dude,
How was your trip to Cleveland?
long. I'm getting old, dude. 3 hours in the car. I mean, we went essentially corner to corner in Ohio.
Yeah, right.
Now, getting there, see, okay, so to kind of paint the picture, Saturday morning, the game's at 4:00, 4:30 on Saturday.
Yeah.
Zach had bowling at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, no.
So we got up at 9. Well, we got him at the bowling alley about 9:30. He bowled till 11:30, had our bags packed in the trunk of the car already, left from the bowling alley to get to Cleveland and get to our hotel because I wasn't driving 6 hours round trip one day.
Yeah,
Just wasn't in the cards.
right.
So we drove to this swanky hotel my wife booked us. Like within like the view of from the hotel was the Cleveland Brown Stadium
Oh,
and then
wow.
the lake. It was an amazing view, an amazing, location. But I've never pulled into a hotel that was essentially only valet parking. Never done that before. Never handed my
Yeah,
keys to a stranger before.
right. You don't need to get in my car, sir.
Yeah. So I mean, and it was backed up just because it was a mess. The stadium, the game's happening, everyone's kind of pulling in, everyone's checking in. It's Easter weekend.
Yeah.
You kind of pile all that on top of it, and it was just a busy weekend for them. But we get there, the room's not ready. So now we have our bags. I got to check my baggage, so give them, and we walk over to the game. And it's really close, but it's cold. Like I underestimated the difference in temperature it would be from Dayton to
To
Cleveland.
Cleveland? Oh, yeah, gosh.
It was about a 20-degree difference.
I
I'm in
believe it.
I'm in my jersey and jeans. And I'm like, and I didn't bring a hoodie. I didn't bring a jacket. I had a poncho because I knew it could be raining. Luckily, we had
Oh my
and that
gosh.
pretty much kept me warm. But the game was fun. We didn't get the result we wanted out of it.
Right.
It was a money grab. I mean, our greedy owner got what they wanted. It was 60,000 people, for this game.
Oh, come on.
But I mean, we had a good time. Zach seen the lake for the first time, Lake Erie. We went over to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Seen some really cool things from Metallica, a drum set from Lars Ulrich,
Oh, yeah, yeah. You
from
did
the
text me
Death
that.
Magnetic tour, the one that we seen.
Right, yeah.
A guitar from both, Kurt Hammett and James Hetfield, and also the bass player. I'm blanking on his name.
Oh gosh, Robert Trujillo?
Yeah, him
Yeah,
as well. Some handwritten notes on how they wrote Enter Sandman was
yeah.
was cool. But I also came to the realization walking through there with Zach that I'm failing because he's looking at these people and like, I don't know who Jimi Hendrix is. I don't know who Prince is. I don't know. I mean, he's just going through like I'm just pointing everybody out. And he's like, I don't know what.
That's not just you, dude. Rock and roll is dead. They need to change the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to something else because there's not gonna be many more inductees.
Well, I mean, it's already essentially changed over to just the Music Hall of Fame.
Right, yeah,
Because
exactly.
they're inducting just, I mean, it's not just rock and roll. There's hip hop in there, like Jay-Z's in there, Beyonce's in there, you name it. There's a bunch of people in there. Oh, Alicia Keys. I said, dude, do you know who this is? He looked at me like, and I'm like, oh man, we need to have a music, lesson or something.
Nobody rocks like Alicia Keys.
But I was like, you've never heard of the song, though, Empire State of Mind? I'm thinking that's playing in everything.
Yeah. You
But
never heard this 20-year-old song?
once he heard it, he knew it because you can actually
Okay,
listen. But
right.
yeah, it was fun. It was a lot in there. It was like 4 or 5 different floors,
Yeah,
and we did that on day 2. Is like because he mentioned he wanted to do it. I was like, okay, we'll do it
yeah.
because it closes at 5. The game was over after 5. I was like, crap. Well, I mean, we're driving home tomorrow.
Right.
But being outside of it, taking the picture in front of the sign, he's like, I like to do that. I was like, okay, then we're doing it tomorrow. I bought
Yeah.
tickets. We showed up. We had a good time. He was about done, but he was also tired. We didn't
Sure.
sleep well in the hotel. He stayed up a little later watching a hockey game. So, but yeah, after that, we drove home, and it was just a nice drive home on Easter.
You mentioned kids and music. I gotta fill you in on something. I don't even know if I told you yet, but my daughter, I introduced her to Weird Al. So she has a bunch of favorite Weird Al songs. Her favorite is probably White and Nerdy.
Okay.
And I think it's because she must be drawn to rap. That must be like her preferred genre. So she can rap White and Nerdy like the whole thing, like
No
without even
way.
yeah. Well, Apple tablets, they have the lyrics on there now. So it's
Yeah.
like you can learn as you're listening. And she's got the whole thing memorized. And since then, she's branched out into now she listens to Eminem and Beastie Boys and
Beastie Boys.
yeah, so, like, I'm every morning I take her to school, and she's got her iPad out, and she's just in the back seat, just, like, rapping behind me, like, all of Intergalactic, before I get to, the drop-off line. It's a lot of fun. I don't listen to the radio anymore, I just have her to, rap for me back there.
That's fun. Zach's into Eminem, and there's a
She loves Eminem.
Kid Leroy's another one he's really big into. He's big into.
I know I'm trying to see if there's rappers out there that, like, because a lot of it has to do with, like, gangsta stuff and sex-related stuff, and I'm like, "Is there anything that's, like, tamer?" I know, like, back in our day, there was, like, Fresh Prince, Will Smith didn't get too explicit, but, like, I wanted her to introduce her to, like, Snoop Dogg and Tupac, like,
Oh, I've
but
done
it's
that with
like
Zach too. We've done California. We've gone
see,
down.
I have, but I'm like, some lyrics, I was like, I don't feel like explaining that to
Yeah,
her."
we've gone down like a bunch of Dre's catalog and everything. So he
Yeah.
he knows music, but he was disappointed that there wasn't anyone in there he really knew. I said, dude, give it 20 years.
Oh,
You
yeah,
it,
yeah.
it doesn't happen overnight. But
Just give it 20 years. That's what I tell everybody about everything.
that's fun. Yeah, no, Zach he's got a pretty eclectic, you know, set of music he listens to. But it's
Yeah.
also like he's listening to Eminem, and in the back of my head, I'm thinking, I hope he doesn't quite understand what's going on in these songs. But then I'm thinking, at that age, we pretty much understood
Yeah.
what was going on in these songs. So I can't think he's any dumber than we were at that time. Because man, we were well, at least I was dumb as a box
You
of
were,
rocks
yeah.
at the
You
age
were
of
not
12.
speaking for both of us on that. I don't know. Hey, should
I,
we talk about The Last of Us?
sure, why not? Yeah, we can go on about stupid stuff forever. Uh, how do you want to attack this? Because we had two different opinions about episode 1.
Oh, well, okay. Just give me mm, okay, well, on the count of 3, we'll give thumbs up or thumbs down, which would be great for our audio audience. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so 2 thumbs up. Okay, but I'm an easy mark.
Okay.
And I don't know if I like this episode because what I mean by easy mark is it was action packed, there's things going on at all time,
Yeah.
or if it was because of what happened in the episode. I don't know. I enjoyed what was going on. I remember what you mentioned about how in the game, actually, Jackson was never actually attacked.
Right. Yeah, that was all new.
Now, based on the after show, the making of it, they mentioned in the game they referred to it a couple times how it was attacked, but it was never actually done in the game. And that's kind of where they were pulling their actual inspiration from for the episode.
Yeah. I mean, they
Uh,
lost a lot of people. That was a heavy hit.
yeah, there was too. But again, I fall into the same category as I did in the first one.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to see episode 3. There's nothing pulling me into it. Like,
Right.
what happened to Joel? I knew it was coming because that was one of the things that was spoiled for me
Yeah, it's a big
in
deal, yeah.
in season 1. And it's like, okay, but did it happen too quickly? Did it happen that quickly in the game? Did that storyline happen early in the game?
I think so. Yeah. Yes, it actually did. Because So after this in the game, this all happens early. We get reintroduced to Jackson and the characters, and there's kind of a stressful relationship between Joel and Ellie. And then he gets whacked pretty early on in the game, and then from there, you are you are in control of Abby as a protagonist. Like, not only so imagine you're a big fan of The Last of Us and you're playing it, you've been hyped, you had it pre-ordered at GameStop for 6 months, and now you finally put it in. You've been playing it, you're about 3 hours into it, and you're like, "Oh, pretty good so far. Okay,
You just
I'm
showed your
digging it."
age. Pre-order at GameStop. What?
Well, not anymore, but well, when it came out, this is what it happened, right?
Yeah.
So, you're playing and, then all of a sudden, Joel eats it, right? Which
Mhm.
you're devastated. And it fades to black, and then when it comes back on, you're in control again, and you're control of the person that just whacked
The character you loved.
Joel. Yeah, and it forces you to play her perspective, and it gives you all this backstory with her, and people threw their controllers, they were so pissed off. So yeah, it's very jarring in the game, and I'm just curious to see how the show handles it from here. Do we get like a full episode of Abby backstory, or do we just pick up right in the town of Jackson, where because Tommy's gonna have to learn that his brother's dead, and
Mhm.
there's a bunch of
Yeah, because
dramatic
'cause they're
things that.
dragging them back to Jackson. That's what they
Yeah,
were doing. They were going back to, where the attack took place with the Horde.
right.
Uh, is my problem this is the question to you, is my problem that I'm just not emotionally connected to any of these characters? Like, I have no connection. I feel like it's moving so quickly. Like, season 1 was what, 9 episodes?
I think
I
so.
think 9 episodes. This is gonna be only 7 episodes. I don't feel like I have any emotional connection, any reason to truly care yet on what's going on. Now, are they okay? So, are they missing the mark then? If I'm feeling that way
Yeah.
as someone that knows nothing about the source material, is there something that the writers are missing?
I don't know. I think this is kind of a weird thing because in the game you have the ability to control these players, right? So you're kind of on the fast track to identify with them. You're literally inhabiting them, and every move they make is moves that you are making them make. You know what I mean? Like video games have this way of you really kind of diving into the psyche and the getting to get used to a character real quick. It doesn't take very long. You could be 20 minutes in and all of a sudden be like, oh, this is the best and I care about this character, right?
Yeah,
And TV shows and movies don't really have that. And this is, in the current modern day age of streaming, we don't have 20 plus episodes to a season, right? With all
yeah,
this backstory. And we don't, and in a movie, we don't have, I guess this is more like a movie. You would think they would have time to
well,
we did have
see,
a lot of time last season with those 2. So, if you're not feeling the relationship at least between see, that's the thing, like, you can Joel and Ellie were like the keystone to season 1, and it's already gone in season 2. And if are not curious or interested to see how Ellie continues on after this dramatic instance, then yeah, I can see where you would be totally checked out.
yeah, because see, in episode 1, I couldn't care less about the pouty, woe was me Ellie attitude. Like, I had the same feeling about Joel as well, if we remember back. But just that I mean, I'm a teenager or what, 19, almost 20. I don't want nothing to do with my parents' attitude,
Yeah,
Just he didn't kick me out, but he moved me in the garage so he can have his own. We can have our own space type thing. That I didn't enjoy that at all, and that's one of the things that about episode 1 I didn't like. And now Joel's gone. I can
yeah,
understand why she's devastated. I,
yeah,
I absolutely get that. But like I said, I have a good movie has 2.5 hours essentially in the movie,
yeah,
and they make you care about the characters. Okay,
right.
well, we had 9 episodes, so essentially that's 9 hours. Did they
Mhm.
fail me in season 1 then? That when we picked up season 2, I didn't have enough of a connection, even though I enjoyed season 1. I really enjoyed season 1.
Yeah.
When Joel dies here, I was just kind of indifferent.
Oh, man, I wonder if you weren't spoiled and you didn't know that it was gonna happen, how you would have felt seeing it.
That
'Cause it's
that's fair.
'Cause I just feel like it is pretty. I remember when it was new and fresh and people were experiencing it for the first time, it was devastating.
But I'll
But I
give you
mean, Joel was your protagonist in the first game,
m
so
my wife's watching with me, and she
yeah.
had 0 reaction to it as well. Actually, when the
Right.
show was over, we just shut off the TV and went to bed. There was no conversation back and forth between us. There was nothing that spawned like, "Okay, what's happening next? What's going on? Where
Right,
did
right,
where
right,
do we go
right.
from here?" The show is just kind of falling flat in my household.
That is a failure. If that's the way a lot of people are feeling, then yeah, that is a failure, and now that we talk through about this, I'm curious, like, I wonder if this was doomed from the start, unless they did some kind of radical change where they changed the way he dies or maybe extended out so he's around for a full season. That's what I thought they were gonna do. I thought they going into this, I thought they were gonna change the adaptation enough to where it would have a different impact or maybe the same kind of impact, but it felt in a different way. But this is pretty much beat for beat what happens in the game, which I was kind of surprised by. And now the rest of this season and the rest of the show is this tale of revenge between these 2 main characters, and I guess they're gonna stick to that, and if that's the case, you're gonna do it without Pedro Pascal, and that can hurt a franchise.
Yeah, that's a big that's a big hit.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see where it goes next week. Um, I'm in. Like I said, I'm 100% in,
yeah.
but it's missing me, and I can't figure out why it's missing me. Like I like I like the characters. I just don't care for the characters. If that's kind of weird saying that, but that's kind of how I feel about it. It's like I
It a part of this could be just we've been, like, bathing in the zombie genre for, like, a long time now.
well, I'll put it this way. I care more for Tommy and his wife and his kid
Mm.
than I do for the main characters of the show.
Well, here's the thing, I think and I hope, because we've gotten a decent amount we've gotten more of Tommy and definitely more of Tommy's family in the show than we have in the game. Tommy is a character that kind of pops in and out of the game, and you don't really get a good sense of who he is or whatever. This show, though, I think has the opportunity to really flesh out his character, his wife, their kid, so maybe they could be the new I don't know, focal point, but at least have a ton of scenes in the show and you can grasp onto them at least. I'm still hopeful. I see totally where you're coming from, and I don't exactly disagree. I think I kind of feel the same way. I'm just struggling to see how they keep an audience like you, uh, checked in over the next because we're only 2 episodes into this. What is
Yeah,
it?
7 episodes. Yeah,
7
episodes.
episode season?
Yeah. Oh,
That's
dude,
rough.
I would have been this. And this is where I was. I was ready to be pissed when the bloater I thought was going to kill Tommy.
Oh, I thought that was happening too. I was
I
like, "Are they gonna make this change?"
That's what I was going to be upset about.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was hoping I can't remember his name's wife, but I was hoping she was going to get the shot from behind, like when Tommy thought he was done, and she was going to come from above and pick the final shot, rather
Oh,
than him just
right.
kind of be toasted and fall over. Thought that was a
Yeah.
little anticlimactic, but that whole scene, that
You
whole scene
reminded me
was
of the
fun.
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
He just,
Just fell right over.
but that whole
Um,
thing between the all of them coming up underneath the snow and then just kind of running,
yeah, that was cool.
that was
Yeah.
fun. The attack on Jackson and how they were prepared. It's like they had a plan. The people on the wall, the women and children going to the basements, people on top of the buildings. You can tell that they been through it before, but not to that extent.
Yeah.
And they knew how to go for. Now, I had the worst case scenario in my brain happening when they actually went ahead and penetrated the wall.
Yeah.
I'm thinking all the women and the kids are in basements. They're in, there's no escape.
Yeah, that's what it's wondering. I would think the roof would be safer than the basement, but maybe not. I don't know how they have it barricaded or how they have it set up, but yeah, I can understand, get off first floor level. You know what I mean? Like you need
Yeah.
to be somewhere that's not where they're at. and make it difficult to reach it. But they seem to have not a lot of issue getting up to the roof.
No. Once I got through the windows and everything, they were upstairs and they were on the roof
Yeah,
itself.
yeah.
Back to Tommy, dude. I loved how he like is he like technically the mayor of the town, or is he? I know it's a council, but it's like
I don't know. He's got to be some kind of. I know he's some kind of leadership, but yeah, that's what it seems like. People look to him specifically. Well,
yeah,
him
when
and his wife, really. I
yeah,
mean, people listen to his wife when his wife says something, except her name apparently doesn't stick with either one of us.
yeah, no, it's completely slipping us. I
But
see every
in the
time I look
show,
at her, I see the character she played on True Blood.
oh, you watched True Blood? I didn't know that.
I didn't finish it,
Yeah.
but I did watch it for quite a while. Yeah,
Wow, that's wild. Another HBO show.
and that's going way back.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
But yeah, I loved how he was like talking to him inside like the bar area, and all of them were like responding back what to do, and then he was just kind of there was levity that he was able to bring with the little the kid that he was
Yeah.
talking to. So it's like that whole thing. Yeah, if slash when Tommy bites it, that's when I'll be pissed.
I'm worried because I think at least half of this show going forward is gonna be, we're gonna go to Seattle, which is where Abby and her crew is from. If the dynamic between Abby and the rest of the people there and learning about her backstory and her motivations isn't enough to interest you, which it wasn't enough to interest a lot of people that played the game, it's gonna be hard. I feel like you're gonna be checking your watch 'cause, it's gonna be I don't know. I'm worried.
I like the actress that's
Yeah,
playing her.
she's good.
So it's like that. I mean, that may keep it, hold me on. It just everything felt rushed, like too convenient in that episode on how she wound up stumbling upon Joel, and Joel wound up in the cabin, and and they beat the hell out of him.
Yeah.
So it's like, and you can tell not everyone was behind it. They knew why they were there. They knew the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
purpose, but you can tell half her crew was like, I don't even want to be a part of this.
Yeah, Last of Us 2 is an exploration in perspective. And it's like, stories usually have a good guy and a bad guy, antagonist, protagonist, right? But it's really just about like, this could have easily been Abby's story. You know what I mean? Like she has her dad that's a doctor, and we're gonna find out more about what's going on. But it's just like the game really kind of throws your perspective into a loop because Joel is a character you really get behind, and then at the very end of that game, he makes a choice that's hard to swallow for a lot of people, It's like not a what do you do? It's a conundrum, right? It's like one of those moral puzzles. Like, what do you do? It's the train and the passengers and all those moral dilemmas. It's like it really makes you think, but it's like he didn't want to lose another daughter figure,
Yeah,
but then at the same time, like this could potentially be a cure for so many people, could put an end to all this tragedy, and he chooses he's selfish in that moment,
hmm
and his actions have repercussions. Like when Abby does her thing, I think we're supposed to be disgusted and put off because she kind of takes pleasure in the torment of it. But if she just came in and found out he was Joel and just like popped him in the head the same way Joel did to her dad, I think it would be justified. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
he kind of earned that. And the thing is, Joel understands that he earned that. Like he walks around every day knowing exactly what he did, and it was weighing on him.
Well, he was trying to egg her on too. He said eventually it was like, "Stop talking, just do it already."
Right, yeah, but she got back. It's like, "You don't get to choose. It's not your choice to do it, like, I'm gonna dictate now what happens from here." So I totally get where the character of Abby is coming from. I think in the game, people were so put off by the jarring switch between losing Joel and then taking her as a protagonist. People were really put off by that, but I think by the end, you really see where she's coming from, her backstory, and this and I'll say this too, Ellie makes some choices going through the game where you're, like, maybe not fully on board with that either, so it's this toss-up between it's like, I don't know who to root for, I don't know what's going on anymore, and that can be interesting in, like, a novel, I guess, but I don't know how it plays out. Apparently, it was pretty divisive in a video game form, and I don't know how it plays out in HBO miniseries form.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people like just kind of reactions online when they offed Joel. They were like, "Well, I'm done. I'm not coming back next week."
Right,
And I
yeah.
feel like it was like you're telling me is a very similar reaction that people had playing the video game. Like, you know what? I'm done. I mean, I maybe just dropped $60, $70 on this game, but you know what? I don't care anymore.
Yeah, 100%.
So
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting to see if viewership continues or how it actually affects it. Or if people like myself, though, it's seven episodes.
Yeah.
I can hold on, I can ride out the season just to see what it's about. Because there's as many people that are saying they're like they're put off by it now. There's as many people saying they love it. So it's that weird split again.
Well, they're probably too invested now, so we'll definitely get the conclusion of the story with a season 3. But this does have I'm curious if this will have the same outcry, the same kind of train wreck devastation that the video game had. Because people were so mad, and I wonder if people will be as mad this time. This is a
Well,
big show, you know? It let's just talk about not outside of the story and the previous video game, it's a big deal when the face that's on the poster is dead. You know what I mean? That character's gone.
yeah,
Like, and not only that character, a character that people loved and a show that people loved, but it's friggin' Pedro Pascal, who's like, one of the
he's
biggest names
out
right
there and
now.
everything right now. Yeah.
Right. So that's a big deal to lose that. And I don't know what the fallout's gonna be. I'm really curious to see.
I mean, I guess we can just wait till next week. 'Cause like I said, I'm in. My wife is along for the ride.
Yeah.
I know she hasn't really been feeling it this season, and I guess that's that. I mean, right now, like I said, I gave it a thumbs up,
Yeah.
but for the reason that may be a sucker and a mark when it comes to some action in an actual show that picks it up, because the storyline and everything in the first episode did not hit the mark for me.
I gotcha. Yeah. Well, we will find out next week when you and I come back here to talk about episode 3 of season 2. You got anything fun happening next weekend?
Let me see. Saturday. I mean, if you guys have been following us at all, I'm going to be in Columbus again. There's a soccer game out there.
Oh yeah.
Zach, my son, is nonstop, dude. It is now. What's today? Monday. He's going all week. He's got 3 games in a week's time, and he has bowling on Saturday. And my daughter's softball season starting, so it's like we don't have a moment to breathe. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah, it's self-imposed.
It is all self-imposed, but it's keeping the
It's,
kids out there and having
hey,
fun, and
if you can do it, more power to you.
it's
Um,
tiring.
yeah, I don't know what I'm doing next weekend. I just know my wife was out of town this weekend, so it was all me taking care of the daughter, making sure she was having an active, fun weekend. But next week, I don't know, maybe back to just sitting around and doing laundry.
So next
I
week
don't,
we'll get to hear on how to fold a fitted sheet from Shaun.
yeah, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else really going on that I know. I mean, nothing. I don't think there's any. Are there any movies coming out this weekend?
Oh, that's another thing. Maybe that's something we could talk about next weekend because there were like 5 or 6 different trailers that were played before Minecraft, and every single one of them, Verona was like, "Oh, I want to see that. Oh, we need to see
Does
that."
she want to see Smurfs?
That might have been the one that she was like, I don't think she said, but like the new Karate Kid and like Superman
I did
and
not care for the new going into it. I'll be the first to say I'm not a big Karate Kid person.
yeah.
That trailer has me caring, like wanting to see it. Like I don't know if I'm
Oh,
gonna rush to
okay.
the theater, but it has me interested in seeing it.
Maybe you know what? Maybe one of these episodes we'll do a little trailer dive or a little review about some because the summer blockbuster season is coming up. We're in April. Next month is May. That's when stuff's going to start to come out. So maybe we'll do some trailer talk here in the next couple weeks.
That sounds like
Like a
yeah,
plan?
no, yeah, it's like a plan. I think that's what it's called.
All right.
Well,
Well, that's going to be it for this week, y'all. Be sure to join us next Monday night. We'll talk about episode 3 of season 2 of The Last of Us. And until then,
should I say keep it cheesy? Go old
keep it
school?
cheesy.
Keep
Yeah,
it
go old school.
cheesy.